They
All right. We're live. It took us like 3 hours to fix this audio. And this is another episode of Decode, where we come together and try to decipher what's going on in the markets and our real life. So I ask you to be positive, have zero expectations, and be open. So we're starting right away with two of my homies, my decoding homies right here. We got Divine Vortex in the house, and we
what's
got
up, fellas?
also we got Doobie.
Hey. Thanks for having me again. Appreciate it.
So it's actually our first recorded live together. So hopefully Devine can stay for most of it and just hear us out. Maybe she has some input. So you want to introduce yourself, Devine?
Sure. So, I'm D Vortex, and I do mostly astrology, financial astrology, and esoteric market TA. But these are my two fellow decoders right here. So I leave most of the decoding to them. But I'm just here to hold space and give a little input if possible. Sure.
And thank you so much for being here. I know she's been super busy. So I appreciate it. Duke, you met the other time where we decoded like a little bit of the Super Bowl and what was going on with the market. So we're gonna start right away with a decode that I found just looking at this famous game that happened on February 7th, where LeBron James had 36 points to go to reach or beat Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's all-time scoring champion for the NBA. So Duke told me to mention this. I actually had it in my notes. And 36 equals to Ethereum and Bitcoin. So if you wanted to look at it at that angle, and I'm gonna show a little bit of the actual video where he. I know you guys can't see it, but it's not much. Just showing the audience.
One other thing, 36. The sum of 1 through 36 equals 666.
The sum of 36?
Yeah, the sum of 1 through 36.
Okay.
So 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, and so on and so on.
But basically, I can't really even show any video, and we've been troubleshooting the whole night. And I didn't want to hold them, too long over here because I know they're busy people. But basically, I was gonna just show up that I thought it was interesting that the first game in NBA history where I've seen where they paused the game in the third quarter, guys, and they basically do like an award show. Like basically, he beat the score, the all-time whatever all-time scoring record. And they actually, I've never seen them pause a game like this. So it was basically 10 seconds left in the quarter, and there was still another quarter left. So usually they'll do like reward somebody or give them an award or whatnot, after the game. So I, that was kind of fishy to me. But if you look at the numbers here, Lou Alcindor, I used to always call him Lou Alcindor. He actually played for one of my alma maters back in the day, my elementary school, and he grew up in the projects close to where I lived, actually. And obviously, I was like too young to see him play as much, especially in the Lakers. I was way too young. I think he already had retired. But anyway, he has the 33rd 33 in his jersey, and LeBron is 6. So 33, obviously the number to most of the things that we look at. You guys want to add on to anything you see in 33 at all?
33 divided by 6 is 5.5. You got that 55 reference.
Okay, so that's another reference to Satoshi, maybe, because I think this number is attached to 55, Satoshi Nakamoto.
Yeah, both of them numbers are big numbers in the occult world. 33 is, tied with the Freemasons.
There you go.
And and 6, it's got its own story, really, that I could talk about for 30 minutes, but I'm not trying to keep everybody here tonight.
Right, but just you get the gist of it. I hope you can follow along, Devine. She's probably not a sports person.
Actually, I used to be a lot. I just
Yeah?
don't really follow anymore after, you start decoding, seeing how this world is rigged. It just kind of loses magic and it's fun, but
Exactly. Once you figure out the
Yeah.
code, it's like, what's the point?
yeah, it's no fun.
Right. So continuing, he was supposed to beat this record by getting 38,388 points. So this is where it kind of sparked it for me when I saw the famous Beats headphones with the number, and I said, what is that? You know what I mean? Like it was so odd, and I was trying to actually read it like letters and stuff like that. And I said, what is this about? So I went into actually looking at what happened that night. That he actually went into beat I'm sorry, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So LeBron James actually equals to 38 in the gematria calculator in one of the ciphers. And Kareem also is 83. Obviously 38 backwards. So there's a connection there, and they did it on I think February 7th, leading onto the 8th. I think right before midnight. Or at midnight was the score. The score was broken. So that day has a numerology of 38, which is February 7th. Los Angeles has a 38 in the calculator too, in the gematria calculator. And you also have LeBron James, like I mentioned. His age was 38 at that time, and he scored 38 points. So there's a huge connection.
Ridiculous.
Yes.
My goodness.
Yeah. 38's a big number. 741, it's 38 triangular.
Whoops. I forwarded. I wanted to show that later. I don't know why I did that. My bad. So you were saying, I'm sorry, Duke?
741 is the 38th triangular. 741 is the number of Lucifer, according to Manly P. All.
The Lightbringer's number.
Speaking of tarot cards, because I see you have the lovers there, right?
Right.
What card number is 38 in the tarot? Do you know off the top of your head, or?
I think that's it. That's what it is. If I'm not mistaken, let me double check. Yes, it repeats. So it's actually the 6th and the 38th. And the full starting, the full card's 0. So he's actually number 6. That's his jersey number 2. So
right.
And it's actually the 38th card, the lover's card.
That's crazy.
You want to speak a little bit something about the lover's card?
Well, I mean, you have the 88, right? Right at the end of the score, and to me, the lover's card is very representative of the 88. It's that infinity loop that is created with when you have the yin and the yang. It's kind of like the toroidal field, male and female, creating
so
duality. So I find that quite interesting that it's the 6 plus the 88, and then the 2 3s add up to 6. So I just find interesting how these numbers kind of like play a role in the whole in the whole code. But yeah, that's quite interesting because it's the whole duality thing to me. Like we stay in tune with these sports, right? And they are entertainment, but they draw you into more of the game, so to speak. And it's just interesting how that's like the 88 and the toroidal field, and that's supposed to be what sort of keep us grounded here. Once you don't have that connection anymore, where the toroidal field doesn't continue in this loop, up and down, in and out, is when you are able to sort of ascend to the next plane. But yeah, that's quite interesting.
Yeah, and also that's actually Archangel Raphael. No, is it? Yeah, I think it's Raphael in the tarot card. and you see the tree of knowledge of the tree in the Garden of Eden, and that's the snake there also. So like the snake, I always think of the snake wrapping into like the 8, the number 8 for some reason. And actually, if you look at when you said like the duality of it, obviously you have masculine and feminine there too. Those aspects in the card,
Here's some fun facts about that number, 38388.
Right.
It has 24 divisors.
24.
24, leading back to Jupiter.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go into Jupiter in a few minutes. So
okay, cool.
You can remember that. So let's continue.
Nice. Yeah.
What's up?
38 also can be written as the sum of 2 odd numbers in 10 different ways. Each pair contains a prime number. It's the largest number with this property. So, just fun facts about 38.
38. Okay.
Also, isn't 38 like then 11? So it's like 11, 11.
Yes. That's another good point too. I was going to mention that. In another part where you see how I broke down. Yeah, it is an 11. And you can also see that's 888,
Right.
So it's like if you read the whole thing, it's like 888, 888, 8. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly. That's
so in going back to that card, I forgot to mention also, if you look at the 8 as actually, as above, so below. And it's also could be reference to the what's it called, the hourglass. So we deal with 88, and Duke talks extensively about Back to the Future. So how you could like visualize it right there, like the horse or the hourglass, like going up and down the sands of time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's another depiction, and all-time scoring leader equals 338 in the gematria calculator.
Very nice.
So that's another reference. So when Devine mentioned that, she was correct. 1111 right there. You have the 1111 dealing with the the second number.
Put it like, even when you say, okay, like 2248 is still like, it's still like the 4 and the 8 is 12, and still 12, and 2 and 1 is still 3. So it still boils down to the 3.
Right. So you add everything, and you have those master numbers with the as above, so below, the H letter, right? And then you have a reference to the 30, which is the creator number, the expressive number, the number of God or whatever, creating man, and man, being with woman creates the child, number 3. So that's creation, so as above, so below. So God did it, and then we do it too, right? And we replicate or whatnot. So going to something personal. So Devine and Duke know that I've mentioned a couple times on the channel that I have another channel with my godmom, and she spoke about the rabbit ear, and she had some tips there. So I recorded that for her, and when I went to check the views, for some reason, out of the blue, like synchronicity, on the actual LeBron the game, the 2-7 on February 7th, she had 388 views.
No freaking way.
Yeah.
Seriously?
Yeah, like I was decoding back and forth, and I just decided to look at it. I usually don't look at views like that, you know what I mean? And I looked at it, it was like 388.
Yo, this code, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
So it's telling me, so it's giving me confirmation, like, okay, keep it going. So I was actually I wanted to release it on Monday. I send the PDF over to you guys to see if we could work something out. And it took like the whole week, like to put it together. Like, you know what I mean? I just kept. It wasn't that I was adding. It was just like mostly trying to finish it off. So I invite the viewer, have a little patience, because we have some goodies for you at the end about the markets and where we see it's going to be headed, because we saw some trading charts or whatnot that deal with the number again. So going to here, the 30th card, right? So we got the 30 from the points added all together, and it's actually the rabbit card. And we're in the rabbit year. So that's another connection there. And also his, I think, I don't know if somebody wants to share it here, but 1230, 1984. So you look at the 1984. I thought it was funny because that's the book. That's the conspiracy. The book about Big Brother. You know what I mean?
Yeah, George Orwell.
George Orwell. There you go. And he's actually born on December 30th, and it adds to like the 33 number right there. So he has that 33rd number dealing with the Masons, and he has the 13 also in his birthday. Yes.
I wonder what his life number is.
So his life path number, if you add it up, what is 6 and wait, is it 6 and 4?
6 and 6, that's 12.
46. So he's a 10-1. He should be a 1 life path.
I thought you're supposed to just add them all together. So
I mean, yeah, you could do it that way, but I think it's right.
7,
6, 7, 8. Yeah, 10 is still gonna deduce to the same number. I just do it differently. So he's a 1 life path. So he's a Capricorn, 1 life path. And it's funny because they always refer to him as the GOAT, and he's actually the GOAT. He's a freaking Capricorn, you know what I mean?
yeah.
So I guess that's why. Yeah, so Devine's a Capricorn too. So his son's birthday, they usually call him Brawny for short. And his full name in the gematria calculator adds up to 103 and 131, kind of like leading to his birthday, his father's birthday. So there's another connection there, because supposedly it might be in the cards, and they keep putting like a track, pointing out to maybe LeBron will retire finally when he plays at least 1 season or 2 seasons with his son. So that might come into fruition. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So just to let you guys know. So that's why I added it there. And the score for the final night, for this game where he beat Kareem was obviously against the Thunder, and it was 133 to 130. So you see how you have that 13 and the 133 connection. Yep. And this is why I feel, and I didn't mention it the last time, and this was just another confirmation, and me and Doobie just going back and forth. And I said it to him afterward. I believe the score for the Super Bowl should be 31-13 or close to that. But I know for sure the winning team is going to get a 31. And it was so funny because I didn't even watch. I didn't watch Jordan's Decode on the Super Bowl, but he got, I think, another number, which I'm not going to mention because you need to be a Patreon member for that. But it's like close, which I thought was hilarious, the synchronicity involved in this. And I think Logan has something very similar to him. I think they had both the same score. But anyway, moving on, it took LeBron 26 minutes for James to 26 minutes for James to total 36 points needed to pass Abdul-Jabbar, and he finished the night with 38 points. So the whole night he got 38.7 rebounds and 7 obviously tied to the year 2023 added together, and he had 3 assists. So we look again with the 3. So continuing. Those were just fun facts, like 26, 36. If you guys want to add anything to it, up to you. But continuing, we have the Thunder, obviously, dealing with Jupiter, and Thunder equaling the number 31 in the gematria calculator, and obviously, Jupiter is Zeus, and he's the god of thunder. So that's why I connected that to Jupiter, and Jupiter, the number. The symbology of the symbol of Jupiter looks like a 24, kind of like what Jordan always talks about, right? The way he decodes, and I find it funny that Kobe is the number 24, and Kobe's death date 1/26/2020, couple months before the COVID-19 crap. So you have a number 13.
So there is, let me stop you real quick. There's a conspiracy theory out there that Kobe was about to testify against some Chinese pharmaceutical companies. over some stuff, and then he went down in the helicopter.
Wow.
Here's where I'm going to tie it in. Maybe there's some sort
you
of
guys
ritual.
talk for a bit? I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Talk.
No, go ahead. Go use.
No, because we're still recording, so I'll just jump back in.
You go ahead. I find that interesting because what was he going to testify against? Like, what was supposedly the problem?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't really want to say, especially since we're recording.
Right.
But there was a couple of Chinese pharmaceutical companies that he had been paid.
Okay.
I guess he was on payroll. I don't know over what. But
I'll have to Google that just because I'm curious.
good luck finding something on Google.
Yeah, well, that's like the word I would be using, but yeah, I don't use Google at all.
Yeah. But I was trying to tie this together, and because all right, so LeBron was wearing those headphones with the 3838 number on top. Well, it's got 24. It has 24 divisors, and maybe it's some sort of ritual tied to Kobe's death.
Interesting.
Yes. I'll have to repeat that when he gets back. But
or he could just replay it.
Yes.
Wow, that's really interesting. This code is amazing. I mean, if you look at it from the perspective of a designer, right, or a creator, or whatever, I mean, the intricacy of it all is fascinating and at times comical, you know. I always say that whoever's playing my avatar's got to be a dude because he's a fucking psycho.
What you talking about, Willis?
I was just tying 24 together with that number on LeBron's headphones. Because it's
because you said it's a third. That number's tied
it has
to
24 divisors, so I'm wondering if it's some sort of ritual around Kobe's death, because there's a conspiracy theory out there that he was supposed to testify against some Chinese pharmaceutical companies, but I don't know any details on it or anything like that.
Yeah, I heard another rumor too, but I'm not going to talk about that. I don't know how true it is or not.
All these rumors.
Right.
Yeah, we're recording.
Let's stick to the decode.
So Calabasas, if you look at the C, the third letter, and California, the third letter, the C letter is a 33 again. So you see how it ties 33 and 13, and I'm gonna add it to it now. I'm gonna add this now to this decode. It might be maybe even 33, 31 as a score. You know what I mean? I don't know how people can play that. Their bets. But Thunder is 31 and tied. We already set it to Jupiter, and the god of thunder. And we're gonna go back in time to 2020 when we had the 311 big date here, where we had that event, and 312 the global stock markets crashed due to that event. And it crashed like 23,000 points. So adding to the date, of 312 for this year, you have the number 13 and the number 38. So we saw that from the 38 in the score. I'm sorry, in the score that you had to beat, and obviously all the names Los Angeles and everything else. So it's interesting that same date, and it's the third year anniversary, right? In 2023. So I find it funny that we have all these threes coming up. Okay, so now we're gonna continue into the movie section. And I know Devine and Duke have been familiar with, a couple of things that I've been tying the movies to the actual market. So the release is for March 10th for 65, the name of the movie, and it's basically tied to someone going through space and actually thinking he's going to save himself by jumping onto a planet, but it's actually 65 million years whatever back into time. So prehistory it actually equals 38 in the gematria calculator. So we have again another reference to 38 and 31 actually to the date of the movie release. So that's another 3113 date. I mean 31 number connection and 38. So something big is tying to these numbers, guys. So the actor Adam Driver is actually a 33rd life path, which I thought was hilarious. And also Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's basketball player that LeBron beat his score. He's a 33, right? And he's actually the number 33 on his jersey, and he's actually equaling to 65 because this is his original name is Louis Alcindor, and it ties to 65 there. Also, now leading into Scream 6, you have a March 10th release, and you have that 31 numerology. So here we're gonna just look at like the description of the movie. The film continues with the survivors of the latest ghost face killings, sisters Samantha and Tara Carpenter, and twins Chad and Mindy Meeks, which is not really that important. But I thought it was funny that they say ghost face killings, and I thought about who's the most famous ghost face killer is in Wu-Tang Clan. So I just made it as a fun reference because it has that 2023 in the numbers of the letters, the 23rd letter, the Wu of W, and the T, the 20. So you have today's, this year's numbers, the 2023. And Wu-Tang in the gematria calculator equals to 31 right there.
This is definitely some sort of revenge. I can see it. It's got to be because, all right, so the LeBron thing on his helmet, tying back to the 24 and then Kobe.
Right.
Okay. Now that Wu-Tang Clan, people can go over on Superstocks and on Reddit and read all about how they're connected with GameStop. But they released an album a long time ago. We talked about this a few days ago. What was it called? What was that album called?
Something Swords, but I think it wasn't. It was an offshoot of the Wu-Tang brand called Killer Army.
Yeah,
I believe. Yeah, it's like a band under another umbrella.
Quiet Wars, something about Quiet Wars, and anyway, it's all tied to basically the downfall of the fiat monetary system that we're on right now.
Yeah, we have to
go to Hammurabi.
We'll check that out. But I thought it was interesting. Just a fun little connection there. With the movie, they kept saying Ghostface killings, and every time I thought about Ghostface was the member of Wu-Tang. So this is another part where a scene where someone, I guess, in the movie is on the phone that has a T-shirt, and the T-shirt reads Moshe di Vilotto Grigio, and I looked it up. It's Italian, and it translates to Four Flies on Grey Velvet, which was a movie that came out in the early 70s, I believe. And I'll play a little bit of it. Sorry if you can't really hear the audio. The audience will be able to hear the audio, I think. But let me check the screen. I have to go back into removing this screen and actually replacing it with this one. I know it was annoying, but whoops. So I gotta share this one now. Give me 1 second. So if you see the screen there, that's for you, so everyone can see it. Hold on. What's wrong? That's better. Can you guys see the screen or no? No, right?
Not me. No, I can see. Just see
I did it. I think I did it the wrong way. So have patience. Lots of goodies coming up. Let's see here if I get it. Hold on. Can you see the movie, the trailer at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So cool. So
How old is this movie again?
It's old.
Like 1970 something, huh?
They've even got titties in the trailer.
yeah.
Oh dang.
Of course, Duke had to find that.
Yeah.
Oh no, not a needle, not a needle.
Exactly. And
Alex
Alex
Jones
Jones came out in the movie too because he saw his mask there. So we're gonna continue. So you already got the point, the gist of it, and then the other decode that me and Duke did, I mentioned that in the logo, I think Rihanna's logo or whatever for her Fenty label, you can see like those syringes there. So we kind of already been hinting that there's gonna be another, C19 scare or whatever, or they're trying to pull something for this year. Okay, because it's very funny that this movie's coming out on 310, right? Like 2 days before the third anniversary of like C19, and it's all about like some like an assassin killing another, like a bunch of people with syringes or whatnot. Okay, so if you look at that date, the 310 date from the two movie releases, you have 31 days, so you have another match to the 31. And it's going to be a full worm moon on that day. And then you have the connection to the moon card because 3 times 1 times 2 times 3 from 3/10/2023, you have the number 18. And you actually have it twice. You have another number 13. And we've been looking at 36 because LeBron needed 36 points to beat the all-time score. And you have the number 20, which you're going to look into in a few. And you have even another number. You have the 56, which is like obviously reverse of 65 from these number here. So you almost have like a full match. You know what I mean? Obviously not 69 296 for now. We could delve into it more. But you see where I'm going here. The moon card, the 18, and the full moon, and it's actually a full worm moon. Okay. So the way we've kind of like we spoke about it before, me and Duke. So Devine, like if you want to add into like maybe the cards or something, because we see the 31 as the 13th card as the death card, and if you look at the worm, it's actually the rebirth, and the death card is also the rebirth. So it's looking into the number 13 as like a rebirth number, like a transformation, right? You want to add anything to it?
Well, yeah, I mean, the 18 also adding to a 9, and a 9 is completion. And it's the end of a cycle. So, which the full moon sort of closes that cycle, right? So I find it quite interesting. Also, how, again, back to these cards of duality, where in the moon card you have the two towers, right? And then you have the two animals of different colors, right? So it's again kind of like looking almost in a mirror, right? So, and with the moon, the reflection, it's like, what are we mirroring, right? Like, what are we transforming? What is closing and what is restarting? So it seems like a pivotal point to me. It's a tipping point,
Yeah, I think you're right. Elon Musk pointed to, he's heading towards 420 and 69 several times. Well, this year, on the 69th day of the year, we have a full worm moon. And then on 420 this year, we have a total solar eclipse.
Right. That's interesting. Okay, anything else you guys want to add to it?
How many days, like what day does it fall 36 or 33 from the full moon? Like
Let me
backwards
look
and
real quick.
forward.
I can look on my phone. Hang on, let me get it pulled up. From the
'Cause we're
full
looking at
moon out, how many
33,
days?
33 and 38. How many, what
Okay.
dates? Yeah, what are the dates?
April 12th.
Huh.
It'll be April 11th if you include the end date. And then April 16th. Or, let's see. Including the end date, 36 days will be 414.
And that's a big number.
And for some reason this year, see, January 11th, and then next year or today actually or tomorrow, you got 212, got the Super Bowl. That number has popped up a lot. Then we got the 313 popping up a lot. And then 414 has shown up in my decodes elsewhere. And haven't you mentioned 414 as well, D?
Yes.
Yeah, that's 36 days. Which brings us back to your first slide.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the beginning of the 36 points.
Yeah.
36 points to go. Interesting. It's interesting. So, all right. So I'm gonna continue. You guys have any other words?
No, go for it.
Okay. So we remember we had spoken a lot about this John Wick Chapter 4. So we have here the March 24th release, 2023. And adding it the way I do, at least, you have a 313 in numerology. Okay. So you have another like 33 or 133 or 3113 if you want to look at it that way. So that's another connection, and you see that John is equal to means God is gracious. So this is a scene from the movie here, and it took place in it's actually like a real world place. This is called Sacred Heart Church in Berlin, Germany. So I'm happy that I actually got to find that information because you have the 3-3 or the 1-3-3 in the latitude and longitude, and you have also the number 13 again. It's repeating for us, and it's letting us know something because even today, like remember Duke, that we bought that same book, the Brotherhood of Light.
Yeah.
It mentions that the 13 is the rebirth, is the number of the rebirth. So
and it's also the death card, which
right.
In any religion, they're always like, you got to die to be reborn.
Right. So it's not like you're dying. It's also there's a sun rising in the horizon in the card itself too. So it's not like it's actual death itself. It's just that there's a transformation coming.
Okay.
So you guys seen this a bunch of times. We've been looking at The Last Deal, the title of one of the movies, and 1 year off. So these are like well-to-do people that are taking a big vacation or whatever. So if you guys want to add something to the title, we're just looking at that, not really the description of the movie. And The Last Deal, something about a marijuana dealer and whatnot. So it's not really that important because I'm just looking at the title of the movies that are coming out or came out actually these last couple of weeks. So I believe they already did come out, like both of them, but I know for sure there's been February. So you also have this one, February 10th, that came out, I believe, yesterday. So from here you have The Last Deal. And this one is The Last Dance, and it's actually a subtitle, The Final Tease, right? So you have like two references, right? So then that got me, my brain thinking or whatever, like, is this the time to, get into the market? Is this the time to like just put money in into the markets, because this is the last time that you're gonna get these prices or something? This is me thinking. You don't have to think this way, like for the audience or whatever. If you're you're learning, you have to do your own research, right?
Yeah.
But the Turkey's earthquake that just passed had all these 15s, right? And it was in the Tiger month, so we know that Tiger in Gematria equals to 15.
Expect more earthquakes, by the way.
Yes,
because of the planetary alignments.
Right. I wouldn't be surprised.
Keep rolling. Sorry.
So you have these 15 and 51, and I believe 51 is the water tiger. I don't know what cipher in the Gematria calculator. But you have another connection here to the 31 and 13, and that's from the February 6th date of this earthquake. So you see where I'm going, where this is kind of like, I wouldn't call it that like man-made at all, because if you look at the fault lines and you look at the history, it's been known to like be frequent, at least every now and then, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not anything new for this zone to have like. So I told people in the chat also, for the wolf pack, I said don't believe in the harp scenario for this one, at least, you know what I mean? I don't know about other ones, but at least for this one.
No, it's planetary. It's all planetary alignments, I believe, going on right now.
So you have here another tie just for fun. You have another tie to Zeus in the Byzantine Empire. This is another depiction of Zeus, like whatever, in the sculpture in Turkey. So the economy of Turkey, which is founding member of the OECD and G20, and 20 is very important. You'll see in a few. It's classified amongst the E7 and the Eagles. So there, you'll see another reference there to the Eagles, because we're dealing with the Super Bowl. Them going to to the Super Bowl, the Philadelphia Eagles. And 20 is going to be very important. The 20th binominal GDP, and the 11th, because we get that 38 right, is equal to 11. And the 20 you'll see in a few, but I'll let you know now. 20, when I study the number 20, it means a collection. So it could be a collection of records, a collection of scores, just having some sort of collecting. Okay, the number 20. So for the next slide, you'll see that score. So we've been, that was our trigger, was the LeBron James score, right? And it's actually equaling to 20. And there was like over 20,000 found deceased for the earthquake. Eagle and Turkey equal to 20. And America and Turkey equal to 32. So the reverse is 2023 for this year, right?
Okay.
So I've been mentioning it a couple times to you guys personally. The way I've been studying the eagle or the bird for this year is not very good. It's not. You're not going to get very good news. And because the cat or the rabbit is enemy is the rooster, and it's a bird. So you have the eagle reference, and look what happened to an eagle reference in Turkey. Okay. Which could,
and for another Super Bowl reference, what bird do we eat during Thanksgiving that resembles the coming to America with the sharing the land with the natives? Turkey.
Exactly. So
Turkey.
America and Turkey is equal to 32 this year, and all these things are happening. We might, you know what I'm saying, like see something horrific too for America. We don't know, but the numbers are following to something and an event, right? So stay tuned, because the Decode is almost done. Thank you, Devine, for like taking your time, because I know she's a busy person, and obviously Duke also. But we're almost there, and you're gonna get a nice treat to where we're gonna see the market. And I know Devine is gonna get especially excited for this one. So connecting the bird, what happened here? We're gonna get another scare, the H5N1. When I first heard about this crap, it was called the H1, not N1, and it's a human bird flu pandemic. Now it's human bird flu. Before it was like an avian flu type, as the H1N1. Now it could be contagious to mammals. Okay. And I found it funny. I think this is a David Icke from his website, and he calls him a demon incarnate. Okay, and if you add up the letterology, right, the numerology with the letters of the H5N1, you get 85141, and it equals to 135, and it adds to 18. And we already spoke what the 18 was in that date, and with the card, the moon card. So straight out of like fun facts real quick before we jump into a little bit of charts, we have the man Drake, the famous Drake here, and he's been in trouble. He has to speak a deposition for a court hearing that try to accuse their the suspects of the XXXTentacion killing. So a lot of people, you might not be in the news of knowing. I don't really follow it too much, but it just popped and it landed right in my lap. So you have the 13-4. He's a 13-4 life path. So you have another 13 reference. Okay, guys. And obviously adding to the 4, if you want to know, the 4 is the order or the door. Okay. So what door are we opening here, right? We open many, so it's up to you to choose and make your own decision about this. The man's logo, the OVO logo, is the owl, right? So you might see him more often in the news, or he'll spend a lot of time in court these coming weeks in reference to this. I'm telling you, it's the enemy, once again, of the cat rabbit. Look it up in the Chinese zodiac. Isn't that hilarious? So now we're going to jump into the juicy. And I know there was another person that in the wolf pack that shared Cryptodamus's. I already had it for my slides, but I thought it was another connection, synchronicity, that they were on the same page and they actually shared the tweet. And you guys can read it. It says Pluto will make a long and unfavorable conjunction to BTC Jupiter February 11th to March 22nd. The
oh
key
my
date.
God. So I literally just thought about this because when you were doing slide number 30, hello, 30, right?
Right.
When you were doing slide 30, which was the eagle and the reference to Turkey, what I was thinking about was the eagle is also representative of Scorpio. And Scorpio's ruler is Pluto. And so we're looking at potentially this huge Pluto aspect that is going to be happening pretty soon.
And Pluto is the planet of rebirth, right? Transformation.
Yeah, we were just talking about the death and rebirth. So Pluto is associated with the death card. And, I was just literally thinking about that particular aspect. I was going to say, since it was coming to an end, we can talk about it on the next, on the next decode. But look, there it is.
There it is. And also the scorpion, right, is actually, it ties directly into the eagle. So when you look at, I believe it's not the, I believe it's the world card and another card. It ties into, it looks like the eagle symbol, not the Scorpio symbol, right? And it's actually the phoenix rising. Because the Scorpio goes into like the dark ashes, right? And rises to the top as the phoenix, the fiery phoenix, the fiery eagle, right? So that's funny how we have all these connections coming to Pluto, the transformation, and rebirth, right? And we already mentioned that Jupiter in obviously in the now somebody's making a claim, Duke is making a claim that is ritualistic. Right?
Yeah.
The Jupiter symbol, the thunder, right? And I was listening to someone's podcast, and they mentioned thunder, right? So when you think of thunder, you also think of clapping, right? The thunder is clapping, and you also, well, he described it as like the voice or a voice. Okay, and they tie it also into the trumpets. It could actually be the trumpets could be thunder, you know what I mean? Clapping or the sound, the voice, the voice box, the six, right? And dealing with, when God made the world, on the sixth day, right? Rested on the seventh. So he spoke it into existence. Remember that. So it's funny that
sound came first before anything.
Right. So the thunder, and it's announcing. What is it? This announcing, guys? for us at least, that we're mega crypto heads or like market heads, like at least for me, I'm visualizing this. I want to see, I want to hear like Devine's take and Duke's take on where do you see the market going, up or down? Or are we gonna on these key dates? Because the 13 we look at 3/1, right? March 1st, we look at March 10th or March 13th, right? Or even the 22nd in this case. And he's mentioning a key date as 3/3, and we already seen those numbers play out.
Probably, I would see maybe low of the month on the 17th
of March
of this month, February.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see probably something similar, where, we're probably gonna see some down movement, this weekend, and then a potential small recovery into next weekend, and everyone's gonna like FOMO back in. So it's gonna be interesting because towards the end of the month, people are expecting, with the new moon coming and everything, another leg up. But I would be cautious because, uh, we do have this aspect right here, that's going to be making things a bit wonky. But I would say for sure we will probably see some uptrend, whether, some people are calling it a bull trap, but probably starting next week or so, we will see some up movement. Whether or not they decide to do another retrace, I think there should be another retrace probably coming. But I do see the end of this period towards like March, as a potential top for this run that we just had, and then back down until April again.
Okay. Because I had these cards for March 13th, and you have the upside down world card, the Four of Wands, and you have the Empress card upside down, the Two of Pentacles, and the last one, the Ten of Wands. So if you want to look at it kind of the market's upside down or going down on this key date, I'll be laughing if Bitcoin goes down to like 13K. What do you guys think?
Oh my goodness. What date? 3/13?
Yeah.
I mean, 3/14 is Pi Day. So, it's very
314
possible.
was the low of last year. Well, not the low for, I'm sorry, the low for meme stocks before they pumped up. In the year of the tiger, Pi Day saved the market, basically. It was just pushed up, and then on Skull and Bones Day, 322, it pumped, and then on the 88th day of the year, it turned around.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. I mean, I'm just speculating. I'm not saying that's going to be 13K, but that could be for the week. So if you look at the cards again,
well,
could
3,
be
13, 23 adds to 13, I think, or is it 12? Let's see, 4 and 3 is 7, and then
so
7
11,
is
3,
12.
11,
12 with this a 3, so we're still on the threes.
It's actually the double seven too. So 4, 3, that's a 7, and 2023 is a 7. So you have that double 7. So let's see what happens. Because let me show you the last damage. It was give me a second here. That's not right. So we had this for February 7th, remember? So this was our chat, our private chat. and we had this down part, the tower
Big
card.
fucking downturn.
Yeah, that was the downturn. So I was speaking of Duke, and I was like, I'm not gonna have the cards just be for that day. I feel like, I think we went over that. It's kind of like it could happen, not always the same day. It could happen like maybe 2-3 days later, or within that week at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that whole week was fucked.
Yeah, Bitcoin was like jacked after that.
So was meme stocks.
Yeah,
And in the tower, though, on the top turret, the tower means bankruptcy.
Right.
And shit got hit hard.
Yep. So if we look at, so people can see, actually, we went way ahead. We could look at this, and that's the 2/12 date. That's tomorrow's date. What kind of week? Could be like sideways, just suppressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing much happening this week, maybe. But I wanted to show you the last part, Devine, because we came up with it earlier during the day, and as you can see the chart there.
Uh-huh.
I don't know how big it is for you guys. Is that good?
It's not very big, but
Let me see. Hold on.
I think I can enlarge it with on my iPad, so I can just zoom in with your fingers. So
Okay, so maybe I could zoom in a little bit. Hold on. No, wait. I gotta do it from here.
So you're seeing it retracing to the golden pocket down there?
Yeah, so we came up with I believe. Damn, it didn't even do justice. The picture didn't really do justice for this.
It's okay. I can see it now, but
this is another one. So basically, we were looking at kind of. Actually, let me pull up trading view. Make more sense. Hold on. Okay, so we had it from here, which I believe. Okay, that's the November 21st date. But it's actually here, which we thought was funny. And it was on the 30th, and that's right before it started going like, a lot higher. And that was a 12/30 date. And that's actually LeBron's birthday. You see that? So we were at like 16.3, just about, more or less. And we went up to like almost, obviously 24. And we saw that 24 number in the decode already with Jupiter.
Yeah. Show her the macro.
So it was like, was it the weekly that we did?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. So I'm new to charting, and please forgive me. Have patience with me. So we did it from here, right? The March 9th date, and look at this shit. Okay, so like let's say 64 change, right? It doesn't make a difference on a weekly. It was the exact. I don't know if will it pull it up. It was around here. Oh, wait. Is it here?
Hit it with that wick.
No. Yeah. It's December 28th. I mean, December.
On the screenshot, you had it at 388.
Yeah, it's making me look stupid now. This is not showing up. It was like a perfect 3888. It was so funny.
You should have it just snap to that wick, but
he might not have his magnet on.
Oh, it has to be in log, right? Percentage log. Okay, I'm in log. And it was a weekly or daily?
Weekly.
Okay. So it was about there. Like look, like 3830. So we're dealing with this number. That's where I pointed at. So it makes sense. You see that?
Yeah.
So we've been we dealt with this number 38 and the 30 in the decode. So that was actually the March 9th date when Bitcoin and crypto and the markets went down. I think the stocks went down maybe 320.
So March, you just say March 9?
Yeah.
As March 39.
Yes, 39.
As in 33 plus 6.
Exactly.
Yep.
And then the price is at 38.30. Look at that.
As in 33 plus 6, the first slide.
As in both of their
Or
jersey
second
numbers.
slide.
Yep. You see the connection?
Yeah,
and
then
that
that golden pocket, you got the 618 and the .72.
So you got that 26K. Yeah, that .88 at 10K. So I thought that was interesting. I don't know if you guys want to add on, but it's
you
just
got the
something.
888.
What?
That I think it might wick down to maybe. I don't know when, but it's gotta fucking wick down before we get an automatic rally and get new all-time highs. Has to.
Yeah, and it's falling like
I
kind
would
of
agree
zigzag.
with you, Duke. It's wild to think of it, but it's true.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be some sort of global catastrophe, maybe some other earthquake.
The
Maybe.
thing is, like, you know, I think we won't, but I think we won't see that until like the summer, you know.
Oh man!
Like, cause we just had this W forming, and you know, based on certain types of structures, this W has to have 2 more retest upwards. So it needs to do 1 more leg up and then a test down, and then another leg up and then a test down. So it probably will go back to 28 and then get rejected from there, then to the 88.
Yeah, I could see that.
Because it you know, for it to go above the golden pocket, it's very unlikely. So I can see it going up there and then coming right back down. A lot of you know, we have some resistance up there, so
Yeah. The thing is it looks like it's you know, it punched through the golden pocket and then now
yeah, I
it
think it's
retested it, but it
stay
busted
there
through it
and
again.
then just trade in that area until it hits the 618 and then just get rejected.
But maybe
Because
it still has a
trend line from the last high to, you know, the second last high, you'll see that it's pretty, you know, pretty clear where the, you know, resistance is going to be felt. Oh, the trend line will have to be sideways, but it will be from the 2 tops on the top. From the highest, will be slanted from the highest point to the second highest on the left. I wish I could draw on your thing, but you know, from like the 60, I think it was like 69 back in this in November.
Yeah, November was 69.
No, not that one. Yeah, that point. And then the second high to your right.
Right here.
Well, I don't mean a fib. I mean a trend line. It will have to be a trend line, but yeah.
Okay. So from the top here to where?
Yeah, just it's a ray. Usually a ray it's better, but you can use a trend line too. A ray it's where the other end just continues.
So we try it again here.
Yeah, right there. So as you can see, we kind of already broke that line, right?
Yeah.
And then man, this is kind of hard. So what we could do is just we can talk about it on the next one.
Right.
And I'll bring a chart I'll send you a chart already with the trend lines on that you can share. But
on the screen it wasn't showing up the right way, but you know, I hope the audience gets the gist of what we try to do, you know, and how to tie these things together.
It's just kind of hard to
market.
do it when I'm not the one drawing the lines, but yeah.
Right. But I just feel like even going back to this part, I mean, yeah, we have room to grow up, obviously, but it's just looking at these dates, especially not anything specific, like a crash could happen, but we don't know. You know what I mean? but it's just something to look at and something to like keep aware of. You know what I mean? With the numbers 13, the 38, the 31, and obviously, I've been studying the 13, meaning obviously more than rebirth. It's the M, in what I mean, in letterology is the 13. So you have moon, you have markets, you have money. You know what I mean? So that's where I find that number even more kind of like enticing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to look into it more. And Duke said, "Why do you have a 13-hour?" And I said, "Yeah, I have a 13-day also." So I've been playing around with those numbers, even in the charts.
What number is the W again? Is 24 or 23?
23. W is 23.
And the M?
The M is the 13.
Okay. So 13, 23. And we've been talking about the 3. So, I mean, I think that day, like 313, 314 are going to be super important.
Right.
I just, my intuition, just listening to the code.
But even just going back to the movies again, like obviously we have, and my screen got all jacked up, but anyway, the last deal and the last dance, I think it has is very significant. Like maybe this is the last time to get in, before all this, because obviously media and movies are actually 13-letter words, right? Like from the M, all related. And this, the funny thing is, this guy's Magic Mike, exactly.
Market maker.
Exactly. The last dance, the final tease. So it might be a tease.
Did you say that one came out too?
It's yesterday, I believe. Let me see. 2 days ago, right now.
Well, we know of a certain person whose name we won't say who's been DCAing already.
Yeah, exactly. So then that was more of a confirmation. So you see where I'm headed. Like I told Duke in the last video, I said, you know what? I haven't watched any of Jordan's predictions about like the Super Bowl because I wanted to like see where I could take my own. And it's funny that we both had the same picks and kind of like at least close to the numbers too. And I didn't even know that. So now with this whole thing like that he said what he's doing, you know what I mean? His projected portfolio or whatever. It's funny that it's like tying together what I'm seeing, you know what I mean? So it's another confirmation to me. Like this is our time, this is our chance right before something pops off.
This is our chance.
Yeah.
The last dance.
The last
I know. Oh God, we're losing him. Wrap it up.
Yo, for real, but let's get a little sound right here. For the patience of the wolf pack that travels by themselves, sometimes too. Shout out to everybody that listened, that took their time. I told you there's always a treat. You want to say anything, Devine or Duke?
Yeah, next time we'll definitely bring in some more charts. I have plenty of charts to share. I was just been really busy this week, so I was not prepared for this one. This is like a cameo on my behalf because I really didn't have much to contribute, but I do look forward to bringing in more in terms of the astrology and astrology charts to share, which are really cool to look at as well.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Yeah,
thank
I don't
you
have
guys.
much to add.
He's like, what she said.
Yeah, what she said.
Well, thank you so much. There's going to be many more. And there's another one that I want to kind of like specify. And I might be adding into the charts also the zodiac by the months. And dealing with that, trying to intertwine with the moon phases also. And just playing around. We've been playing around, experimenting for, a couple months already. And I see that the work has been, doing its thing and with the cards. So I said, you know what? We're going to have, I guess the reveal, you know what I mean, of all the work in the channel. You're welcome. If you guys want to say like any, you know, like social media or anything that they could follow you at, you're more than welcome to right now.
I don't have anything at the moment.
In the future.
Okay. So let's give them time. And peace out to y'all. Thank you for coming through to Decode. I love y'all. Peace.
Yeah.